So last week was the House of Origin cutoff here in the legislature, and I'm happy to report on some of the things that we were able to send from the House of Representatives over to the Senate. We made some important strides towards tackling our housing crisis with some important bills. One of the things we need to do is build more housing supply, and to get there we need more diverse housing options, which is why we passed legislation to expand missing middle housing options like row houses and townhomes. That's House Bill 1110. And we also want to make it easier to build accessory dwelling units with House Bill 1337. As important as it is for us to build supply, it's also important for us to stabilize rents. And so I'm deeply disappointed at that, but I'm also committed to coming back and working on that policy again next year. We're going to do everything we can to get not just supply of homes, but to make sure we stabilize the cost of renting or buying homes in Washington state. We're also working to turn the tide on climate change through House Bill 1181 that incorporates climate change planning for both effects and reducing the impacts of climate change into our growth management planning process for our local government partners. We were able to pass House Bill 1329, which addresses the effects of climate change by preventing utility companies from shutting off power during extreme heat events. We already do that for cold weather events, but we know we're seeing more extreme heating events in Washington, and that's a result of climate change, so we need to take action on that. The House of Representatives is also committed to continuing to tackle the scourge of gun violence. And this year we were able to pass a bill banning assault weapons in Washington state. That's House Bill 1240. We were also able to establish a requirement for 10-day waiting period and to make sure gun owners have taken basic safety classes as well. That's House Bill 1143. I'm also excited to report that we're working on making sure that there's a benefit increase for certain PERS and TERS 1 retirees. These are folks who've been hit hard during the last few years. Inflation has made it even more difficult. These are folks who dedicated their careers to Washington state, and that benefit increase is important for them and their ability to keep up in this economy. And finally, I'll just briefly mention a few of the bills that I've been working on that have now passed out of the House and are on their way to the Senate. House Bill 1390 will require state campus district energy systems to develop a decarbonization plan. And it will also authorize privately owned companies with these similar district energy systems. They can opt into the program to improve efficiency of their energy generation and distribution networks. We're also able to pass 1391 that will create a simplified process for homeowners, renters, small businesses to access cost-effective ways to improve our building energy efficiency and create a statewide building energy upgrade navigator program. And finally, I was able to sponsor House Bill 1052. This is a big deal for San Juan's attempt to address the housing crisis in that community. We currently have a system that allows qualifying nonprofit housing providers to benefit from a property tax exemption, but it hasn't been eligible to all nonprofit providers in San Juan County specifically. And so this bill will address that problem and solve it for those folks who are helping us tackle the housing crisis in San Juan County. We've still got a lot to do this session as we look at the bills that were sent to the House by the Senate, and we're going to be looking at the budget in the coming weeks. I'm looking forward to making real progress on these issues that affect our daily lives and our future. If you have questions, ideas, concerns, please reach out to my office, and I hope you can join us for the town hall next week.